I want to talk about a I want to talk about something that I learned from Chris Williamson and Hamza Ahmed's podcast today, which is serotonin Ilyas versus dopamine Ilyas and the difference. I have always been dopamine Ilyas because you can say that there has always been a necessity in my life to perform well, and I've always been in that mode that I need to do well. Probably passed down from parents doing well at school and me extracting that to everything and trying to prove to myself that I'm not a piece of shit. But I have realized, and have had the first taste of like a real, quote unquote, real relationship where it's reciprocal, and I have experienced like purely intrinsic things. Like a relationship, if done well, is purely intrinsic. I spend time with the girl I'm currently dating when I could be working on what I want to work on because I enjoy it, like purely because of her company. Which also ties into that is serotonin Ilyas. That's Ilyas that's just chill and happy and independent of anything. And there's dopamine Ilyas who wants more and is constantly striving for more. And that might not be the ideal way to live life, but that comes back to like if I don't spend most of my time in dopamine Ilyas right now as a 19-year-old, I will not be able to create the life I want to live most of my life 25, 30-year-old onwards as serotonin Ilyas. But that does not mean I have to derive the meaning of life from my work. I can just be like, yes, I need to work for 4 to 8 hours a day. It does not make sense to do that in a job because then you're a cog and your labor is profited off of. So by definition, you're more profitable doing your own thing. So you can do that. Like work can be a part. You can be happy independent of your work, which again relates to Stoicism and Seneca and all of that. You can be happy independent of everything. Upgrade your dome, not your phone. That's Gary Vee saying. Just that. Work can be like dopamine Ilyas, just like brain. It on paper does not make sense to be in a job. It makes more sense to start a business because by definition someone else is profiting off of my labor. If they were not, they would not keep me. And if they are, you can start my own business. And in that even it is like it makes less sense to start a cupcake business, makes more sense for an online business, maybe a content business, something that's online and has leverage. It can be purely a rational thing. That also takes away from Andrew Tate's or Iman Gaji, Hamza's YouTube, things like that. Which also relates to the fact that watching YouTube is not helpful. Like long form podcasts and books are the most helpful things ever. And for example, following Hamza, a lot of his like cult leader frame is broken in this podcast because Chris Williamson says the exact same thing. Hundreds of people online have been telling him. It's like, you don't know about relationships. Teach from a student's mindset. Don't pretend to be a cult leader in that aspect. And also just like, my father wasn't present, honestly, in the house and emotionally. And that has created a lot of things I've had to work through and I will have to work through because of that. But ultimately what Hamza teaches and what I have been doing is just become that version, like that non-emotionally available, just work, grind, toil and put food on the table version of myself. And that's not needed for a happy life. And using Cal Newport's deep work and Greg McKeown's essentialism and Gary Keller's the one thing, you don't need to derive existential meaning from your life. If you do, what are the chances? You increase your potential from making millions to tens of millions or hundreds of millions. But if you don't derive meaning from, you can derive meaning from it. But if you don't make it your existential, like, oh, everything I do is related to this, then your potential caps at millions, and that's fine. That's more than happy. I can like eat Wagyu beef for the rest of my life. That's fine. Dude, I'm such an Ilyas. Like, I was looking at meat at work, and I was just salivating at the price of like and using it as motivation. Like one day I will have only Wagyu beef, like only $500 Wagyu beef every day. Like that. That's the dream. Ilyas, I want money so I can afford the blueprint stack and all the meat I want, and all the like. I don't. Yeah, just basically time saving luxuries. Like I want to outsource more. I just want money so I can outsource everything so I can be happy. I just want outsource everything that takes the pain away. Yeah. Um. That also relates to how important people are in your life, because I like environment wise, Queenstown fucking clean, amazing, culture is great, but I don't have people here, like people that will listen to Chris Williamson, people that I can talk deeply to. Like to this day, I think the most intimate relationship I've had is with Roof, and yeah, I liked her and all of that, but the intimate bits of it was like talking to each other without filter and trying to understand each other, and that's deeply missing from here because all I do is talk to people for work, and people that I meet either do not try to understand me or we don't match on the same wavelength. I can't talk to people that after work that have a gym membership and don't go to the gym. That's like such an antithesis of what I am or what I want to be. Because if you're not using it, cancel it. If you're going, go every day. Something like that. I think I've been the happiest when I've had Vihan to shit on me, Ritvik to talk tech to, Vivek to talk work to, and Roof to talk emotions with. And that's what I miss about Mumbai. It's the life setup I had, the fact that I don't have to pay for rent or work full time. I had people that understood me, maybe not on a deeper level, but we connected on something at least. That I have been missing from here. Or maybe that's probably a skill issue of me not going deep enough and being always at work and all of that. There's probably a Roof in Queenstown that I do not have access to because I'm working all the time. That's fucking terrifying to think of, actually. Not because it's a skill issue, but because it's a opportunity cost issue. I'm working too much. Fuck. Need to get out of a job, bro. Like, need to work on the business. That's what is going on in my head. I hope you found that enjoyable. See you in the next one.